This episode of Project Innovation is brought to you by Rumbix. Rumbix is construction data simplified. Complete your daily reports and time cards in minutes and view and edit your data online. Try it for free today at rumbix.com. And Assemble Systems. Assemble is the web-based solution that lets you extract BIM data, add intelligence, and collaborate in real time to make better decisions and deliver products on time and in budget. Begin your free trial today at assemblesystems.com.
We are coming to an age where spaces are not strictly defined. With developments in robotics and automation, the space you create can be changed with the touch of a button. For this BuiltWorlds Project Innovation, we are going to explore the concept of transformative spaces in the theatrical environment. Chicago, Illinois' The Yard, located at the famous Navy Pier, will be creating one of the most advanced theater spaces in the world.
I'm Chris Henderson, Chicago Shakespeare Theater's executive director, and I've been the executive director of the theater for the last 27 years. It's only 5 years into this new facility that we realized that there was going to come a point where this building, designed for a less complex, a less diversified organization, was perhaps not going to take us into the future. And so in 2004, 2005, we began to explore what it would take to do another performance venue. Now, along the way, we designed a number of other theaters over that decade. This design for the Yard is really the 10th. Flexibility and sustainability and forward thinking became a really important part of the process. We have the last 17 years looked out our windows at the beautiful lake, the beautiful skyline, and this big white tent. It was the most underused part of Navy Pier for the last quarter century. We had been looking at how we could capture as much of the existing space, as much of the existing structure, and treat this project like a pop-up. The box, that core and shell of any theater space, would be respected and maintained as the most important permanent piece of the architecture, and then all of the seating would be dealt with as if it were scenery, so that it would be able to move around this giant room in order to let us configure and reconfigure space to reimagine the actor-audience relationship. And this is where Charcoal Blue and then later our work with Show Canada in Montreal, we developed this concept for these 9 seating towers, which are each the size of a London double-decker bus, sort of stood on its end, that would be able to move around the audience chamber portion of the Yard in order to create various configurations of playing space. So you're sort of looking at it, I think, on the camera now as though you're standing on stage looking out at the audience chamber portion of the Yard, but really when the towers come away, you start to get a sense of one large room that then can be activated in any way you can imagine. But then when those risers come out, you know, a stage can be configured in the center of the room, and the towers then just circle around to enclose the playing space. A full grid system with traveling beams throughout will be installed so that theatrically we are able to bring the lighting and sound to whatever configuration. I always said we had to approach this project from the inside out. The work started by exploring what was going to go on within the 4 walls of the Yard, and then we would work ourselves out to what that would look like on the pier, and then importantly how that would connect to our existing structure. What we will do on the tent is, just as within the Yard beneath it, we will be changing the configuration and changing what that venue feels like. You can see in this rendering here through projected moving images, we will treat this giant white tent as a canvas. And so we will activate and reinvent that outer representation, that outer manifestation of the art, just as we are within the theater space below. And I think it will add a really exciting new dimension to the pier. We're excited to now begin to think about what we'll be able to do to bring that tent to life. By joining our existing building to the yard, it does create a campus, which is really exciting at the center of Navy Pier, so that Chicago Shakespeare truly does then become the cultural center of the pier. You know, the vantage point of the city from here, I believe, is the best view of the city. There is an openness, it is an incredible angle. This crescent shape of the lobby that really embraces that relationship to the city in such a tremendous way, and helps define and envelop the space outside.
Well, should we take a look inside under the tent?
Sure. Watch your head here.
Is that okay?
I don't know. We'll see if someone yells at me.
Wow. Now, this is going to be so amazing. The bleachers, though, are gone.
Well, they're going to go away. I've left them for now because they entertain me as possible outdoor performance space. And so what you see here is the steel. The slab will go on top of the steel, and so that starts to define what level 0 of the yard is.
Will you see the spider legs?
No, they'll all be, there's some of the structure tucks around a couple of them, but no, because you'll be in a fully, fully enclosed, climate-controlled, acoustically isolated box.
Yeah.
The rigging system that we're putting in, is very flexible and will be able to move things in unique ways to fold them up and take them out, or to move them off stage, because there is sizable wing space that will be able to take scenery in and out. So some challenges, in the limitations of the space, but all along we've really wanted to, we've asked our teams to think about, well, how do you overcome those challenges? That's what we do in the theaters. We figure out how to make believe happen on stage. So we can look at the mock-up of the tower here. Is interesting to see. We commissioned a mock-up of one of the bays of one of the towers. You really can start to get a sense of how large these are, because you have to imagine that this is sitting on an 8-foot platform, and then there are 2 additional levels on top of it. But that is the width of the tower here.
It's amazing. And so spring 2017, or
spring 2017 is the goal. Yeah.
Nice.
What I know it will do is give artists now and for generations to come the opportunity to think out of the box, because they are working in this particular box. Theater goers want event, they want to be surprised, they want excitement, and so the idea that the yard could be changed and could offer up a new experience and a new relationship with a play makes it unlike any theater in Chicago, and truly it's unlike any theater we've found in the world in terms of the virtuosity of its flexibility.